Lawrence Edward Page, born on March 26, 1973, is an American businessman, computer scientist, and internet entrepreneur who is widely recognized for co-founding Google alongside Sergey Brin. Page served as the Chief Executive Officer, CEO of Google from its inception in 1997 until August 2001. He later resumed the role of CEO from April 2011 to July 2015. In July 2015, he took on the role of CEO at Alphabet Inc., Google's parent company, which aimed at overseeing significant advancements. However, he and Brin stepped down from all executive positions within the company on December 4, 2019, although Page remains an Alphabet board member, employee, and controlling shareholder. As of March 2024, Page's estimated net worth stands at $125 billion, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, and $122.8 billion, according to Forbes. These figures rank him as the 9th richest individual globally. Additionally, Page has made investments in innovative ventures, such as flying car startups Kitty Hawk and Open. Lawrence Edward Page, born on March 26, 1973, hails from Lansing, Michigan. His mother is of Jewish descent, with her own father having immigrated to Israel later in life. However, Page's upbringing was secular, meaning it wasn't particularly religious. His father, Carl Victor Page Sr., achieved a PhD in computer science from the University of Michigan and was recognized as a trailblazer in the fields of computer science and artificial intelligence by BBC reporter Will Smale. Page's paternal grandparents held Protestant beliefs. His father, Carl, served as a computer science professor at Michigan State University, while his mother, Gloria, was an instructor in computer programming at Lyman Briggs College, also within Michigan State University. Despite his parents' divorce when he was 8, Page maintained strong relationships with both his mother and his father's long-term partner, Joyce Wildenthal, who was also a professor at MSU, Wernz. When Lawrence Page was just 6 years old, around 1979, his father introduced him to an Exidy Sorcerer computer. This early exposure ignited Page's interest, and he quickly mastered the machine, using it for his schoolwork. Page reminisced about his childhood home, describing it as often messy, filled with computers, science, and technology magazines, as well as popular science publications. Surrounded by this environment, Page immersed himself in learning. He was an avid reader, spending countless hours poring over books and magazines. According to writer Nicholas Carlson, the combination of Page's home atmosphere and supportive parents nurtured his creativity and inclination towards invention. Page's upbringing also involved music. He played musical instruments and studied music composition. His parents enrolled him in the Interlochen Arts Camp in Interlochen, Michigan, where he furthered his musical education. Page credits his musical training with instilling in him a sense of impatience and a focus on speed, traits that he later applied to computing. He expressed that his musical background made him keenly aware of time, with timing being a crucial aspect in music, especially for percussionists. This awareness of timing and milliseconds in music, Page believes, influenced his approach to speed and efficiency in computing, a legacy he sees reflected in Google's emphasis on swift and efficient performance. Lawrence Page's fascination with computers began at the age of 6 when he discovered first-generation personal computers lying around his home, left by his parents. This early exposure sparked his interest, and he quickly became adept at using them. In fact, he became the first student in his elementary school to submit an assignment created on a word processor. Page's older brother, Carl Victor Page Jr., played a significant role in nurturing his curiosity and tinkering spirit. Carl taught Lawrence how to disassemble things, igniting his curiosity to understand how objects functioned. Before long, Lawrence was dismantling everything he could find around the house to satisfy his thirst for knowledge. From a young age, Lawrence Page harbored a strong desire to invent things. By the age of 12, he had already developed a keen interest in technology and business. He recalls knowing that he would eventually start his own company, demonstrating an early entrepreneurial mindset and ambition. During his formative years, Lawrence Page attended Okemos Montessori School, now Montessori Radmore, from ages 2 to 7, followed by East Lansing High School, where he graduated in 1991. He furthered his education at the University of Michigan, earning a Bachelor of Science degree with honors in computer engineering in 1995. Additionally, he attended the Interlochen Center for the Arts during summer school, focusing on playing the flute and saxophone for 2 summers. Page continued his academic journey by obtaining a Master of Science degree in computer science from Stanford University in 1998. During his time at the University of Michigan, Page showcased his ingenuity by creating an inkjet printer using Lego bricks, essentially a line plotter. He conceptualized this invention to enable the affordable printing of large posters using inkjet cartridges. Page also demonstrated leadership as the president of the Beta Epsilon chapter of the Eta Kappa Nu Honor Society and contributed to the University of Michigan Solar Car team in 1993. Page's entrepreneurial spirit shone through during his undergraduate years. He proposed innovative ideas such as replacing the University of Michigan's bus system with a personal rapid transit system, envisioning a driverless monorail with separate cars for each passenger. Additionally, he developed a business plan for a company that aimed to utilize software for building a music synthesizer. These initiatives underscored Page's knack for blending technology and business innovation even during his academic pursuits. Upon entering Stanford University's computer science PhD program, Lawrence Page embarked on the search for a dissertation topic. He contemplated exploring the mathematical properties of the World Wide Web, viewing its link structure as a vast graph. Encouraged by his supervisor, Terry Winograd, Page delved into the idea, later acknowledging it as the best advice he had received. Alongside this, Page considered research on telepresence and self-driving cars. Page's focus turned to analyzing the linking structure of web pages, recognizing the significance of backlinks as valuable indicators of a page's relevance. This concept paralleled the role of citations in academic publishing. Sergey Brin, also a Stanford PhD student, joined Page's endeavor, which they dubbed Backrub. Together, they authored a seminal research paper titled The Anatomy of a Large-Scale Hypertextual Web Search Engine, which garnered immense attention. Page envisioned a method to count and evaluate backlinks across the entire web, understanding that links essentially served as citations. Despite the immense scale of the task, with an estimated 10 million documents on the web at the time, Page commenced building a web crawler. The complexity and magnitude of the project intrigued Brin, drawing him to collaborate with Page. Their collaboration was fueled by the project's ambition to organize and enhance access to the vast expanse of human knowledge represented by the web. Brin and Page, recognizing the potential of the backlink data collected by Backrub's web crawler, devised the PageRank algorithm. This innovative algorithm assessed the significance of backlinks between web pages, paving the way for the creation of a search engine surpassing existing ones in efficiency and accuracy. Utilizing Page's dormitory room as a makeshift laboratory, Brin and Page assembled a device from spare parts of inexpensive computers. This device facilitated the connection of their nascent search engine to Stanford's broadband campus network. Subsequently, they transformed Brin's dorm room into an office and programming center, where they refined and tested their search engine designs. The project's rapid expansion strained Stanford's computing infrastructure. Page and Brin utilized Page's rudimentary HTML programming skills to create a simple search page, lacking visual sophistication due to the absence of a dedicated web developer. They ingeniously repurposed any available computer parts to bolster the computing power necessary to accommodate multiple user searches. As their search engine gained traction among Stanford users, the demand for additional servers to handle queries surged. In August 1996, the inaugural version of Google was launched on the Stanford University website, marking the inception of a revolutionary internet tool. Backrub, the precursor to Google, was developed using Java and Python programming languages, and it ran on Sun Ultra's and Intel Pentium's operating Linux. The primary database was hosted on a Sun Ultra series second with a 28 GB disk. Scott Hassan and Alan Sternberg provided invaluable implementation assistance, while Sergey Brin played a significant role in the project's development. Even in its early stages, Backrub demonstrated the fundamental features of a search engine. Users could input queries, and the system provided a list of backlinks ranked by importance. Page noted the realization that Backrub functioned as a querying tool, offering users an overall ranking of pages and follow-up suggestions. By mid-1998, Backrub was handling around 10,000 searches per day, prompting Page and Brin to recognize the project's potential. They began to grasp the significance of their creation, acknowledging the possibility that it could have a substantial impact. Page and Brin's vision for Google has been likened to Johannes Gutenberg's invention of the printing press. Just as Gutenberg's innovation revolutionized access to knowledge, Google's search technology similarly transformed information access in the digital age. The comparison underscores the profound influence of Google in democratizing access to information. Soon after conceiving their search engine, Page and Brin envisioned expanding their scope beyond web searches. They contemplated digitizing books and enhancing access to health information, reflecting their broader mission to organize and make accessible the world's information. In 1998, Sergey Brin and Larry Page, fueled by funds from faculty members, family, and friends, pooled resources to purchase servers and secure the iconic garage in Menlo Park. Sun Microsystems co-founder Andy Bechtolsheim's $100,000 check marked a pivotal moment. Although the company, Google Inc., had not yet been officially incorporated, for a brief period they grappled with the challenge of having nowhere to deposit the money until the necessary paperwork was finalized. In 1998, Brin and Page officially established Google Inc., with an initial domain name derived from the term Google, signifying the vast amount of data the search engine aimed to organize. Page assumed the role of CEO, while Brin was named co-founder and president. Their overarching mission was to organize the world's information, making it universally accessible and beneficial. With a loan of $1 million from friends and family, the fledgling team relocated to a Mountain View office by the onset of 2000. Page's innovative experimentation with smaller servers in 1999 allowed Google to optimize space in third-party warehouses, resulting in a faster search engine compared to competitors. By June 2000, Google had indexed in the unprecedented 1 billion internet URLs, solidifying its status as the most comprehensive search engine of its time. Citing data from the NEC Research Institute, Google announced its access to over 560 million fully indexed web pages and 500 million partially indexed URLs, marking a significant milestone in the company's exponential growth and influence. During his initial tenure as CEO, Larry Page initiated a bold move in 2001 to dismiss all of Google's project managers. His plan aimed to have all engineers report directly to a VP of engineering, who would then directly report to him. Page's rationale stemmed from his preference for engineers to be overseen by individuals with technical expertise, rather than non-engineers lacking such knowledge. He even articulated his management principles, emphasizing personal involvement, minimal bureaucracy, and respect for ideas regardless of the person's age or rank. Page outlined several guiding principles for his team, stressing the importance of personal involvement to expedite processes and avoiding unnecessary obstacles that hinder progress. He encouraged open communication among team members and advocated for a culture that prioritized ideas over hierarchy. Page's management style emphasized empowerment and collaboration, aiming to foster an environment conducive to innovation and efficiency. Page's leadership was characterized by a relentless pursuit of technical excellence and user-centric design. He placed great emphasis on the speed and efficiency of Google's search engine, believing that faster response times would drive increased usage. Page challenges engineers to minimize lag times and prioritize speed in all aspects of Google's operations, including the design of its homepage, which remained deliberately minimalist to ensure swift loading of search results. While Page's approach faced challenges and criticism, particularly regarding its sustainability and impact on employee morale, his commitment to technical excellence and user experience laid the foundation for Google's continued success and innovation. Amidst pressure from influential investors, Larry Page reluctantly stepped down as CEO of Google before Silicon Valley heavyweights Kleiner Perkins and Sequoia Capital invested $50 million in the company. Eric Schmidt assumed the CEO position in August 2001, while Page transitioned to the role of President of Products. Schmidt's tenure saw significant growth and milestones, including Google's IPO in 2004, during which Page remained influential, finalizing new hires and authorizing the IPO, which made him a billionaire at just 30 years old. Page's leadership was marked by strategic acquisitions, notably the purchase of Android in 2005 for $50 million. Despite initial reservations from Schmidt, Page recognized the potential of handheld devices accessing Google services and invested heavily in Android's development. By 2008, the first Android phone was launched, and by 2010, Android surpassed Apple in handset market share, becoming the world's most popular mobile operating system. Following an official announcement in January 2011, Larry Page resumed the position of CEO at Google on April 4, 2011, with Schmidt transitioning to the role of executive chairman. At this juncture, Google boasted a market capitalization exceeding $180 billion and a workforce of over 24,000 employees. Despite a perception of being less engaged during what some dubbed his lost decade, Page's return to the helm heralded a new era of leadership and innovation at Google. Upon assuming the role of CEO at Google, Larry Page prioritized two key objectives: fostering greater autonomy among divisional executives and promoting collaboration and unity across teams. He established the L team, comprising senior vice presidents who reported directly to him, and restructured senior management to empower divisional leaders. Page implemented a zero-tolerance for fighting policy to foster a harmonious team environment, departing from his previous confrontational approach. He led a consolidation effort, shutting down numerous products and services while streamlining the appearance and functionality of existing ones. The redesign initiative, dubbed Project Kennedy, aimed to unify Google's products under a cohesive design aesthetic. That term, Project Kennedy, marked a design revolution at Google, emphasizing refinement, simplicity, and consistency across products. The initiative, spearheaded by Page's commitment to a cohesive product suite, transformed Google's user experience. The resulting UI framework, developed by the UXA design team, aimed to provide users with a beautiful, accessible, and consistent platform, aligning with Page's vision for Google's evolution. Larry Page's tenure as CEO of Google from 2013 to 2015 was marked by his visionary approach and commitment to innovation. Emphasizing a 10x mentality, Page encouraged Google employees to create products and services that were at least 10 times better than those of competitors. He championed ambitious projects like YouTube and Android, recognizing the value of pursuing crazy ideas. Page also addressed societal challenges, including government regulation of the internet, expressing concerns about restrictions on user freedoms. At the same time, he advocated for technological advancement and collaboration within the tech industry, urging a shift away from negativity in zero-sum games. Under Page's leadership, Google expanded its scope with initiatives like Calico, a biotechnology research and development project aimed at improving human health. Page's commitment to innovation extended to management restructuring, allowing him to focus on ambitious projects while delegating day-to-day responsibilities. In August 2015, Page announced the reorganization of Google into Alphabet Inc., positioning himself as CEO of Alphabet and appointing Sundar Pichai as CEO of Google. This move aimed to streamline management and foster greater accountability and transparency within the company. Page's leadership style evolved to prioritize long-term vision and innovation, leading some to describe him as a futurist focused on moonshot projects. While less involved in day-to-day operations, Page's strategic direction and commitment to pushing the boundaries of technology have left a lasting impact on Google and its evolution into Alphabet. Larry Page, one of the co-founders of Alphabet, made a big announcement on December 3, 2019. He said he would no longer be the CEO of Alphabet, and Sundar Pichai, who was the CEO of Google, would take over. Page, along with Sergey Brin, who is another co-founder, explained in a blog post that Alphabet and Google were doing well as separate companies, so having two CEOs and a president was no longer necessary. Page and Brin talked about how Alphabet had grown and how Google and other projects were running smoothly on their own. They decided that it was time to make things simpler by having just one CEO for Alphabet and Google. They believed that if there was a better way to run the company, they should do it. With everything running well, having two CEOs didn't make sense anymore. By stepping down as CEO of Alphabet and letting Sundar Pichai take over, Larry Page showed that he had faith in Pichai's leadership skills. Pichai had been doing a great job as the CEO of Google, so Page believed he could handle leading both Alphabet and Google. This decision showed that Page trusted Pichai to continue guiding the company in the right direction. Larry Page's decision to step down as CEO of Alphabet was a way to ensure a smooth transition. By passing the reins to Sundar Pichai, Page ensured that there would be stability and continuity in leadership. This move allowed the company to keep moving forward without any disruptions, while also giving Pichai the opportunity to lead both Alphabet and Google. Larry Page, alongside his friend Elon Musk, is an investor in Tesla Motors, a company known for its electric vehicles. Page is passionate about renewable energy technology and supports the adoption of plug-in hybrid electric cars through Google.org, Google's philanthropic arm. He also invests in other alternative energy projects, aiming to promote sustainability and reduce reliance on fossil fuels. Page is involved in startups like Opener and Kitty Hawk, which focus on developing aerial vehicles for consumer travel. These ventures aim to revolutionize transportation by introducing innovative flying vehicles that could potentially ease traffic congestion and provide efficient modes of travel in urban areas. Page is interested in exploring the socioeconomic effects of advanced intelligent systems. He believes that digital technologies can be harnessed to create abundance and fulfill people's needs. Page supports the idea of using technology to shorten the workweek and mitigate the potential negative consequences of technological unemployment, as described in Peter Diamandis' book. Page played a role in the establishment of Singularity University, a think tank focused on transhumanism. The university explores the intersection of technology and humanity, aiming to address global challenges and harness the potential of advanced technologies for the betterment of society. Personal life of Larry Page. In the early 2000s, Larry Page briefly dated Marissa Mayer, who later became the CEO of Yahoo. Mayer was a Google employee at the time. Larry Page purchased a 9,000 square feet Spanish colonial revival architecture house in Palo Alto, California, in 2005. The historic house, designed by Pedro Joseph de Lemos, features intricate stucco work in stone and tile elements, resembling de Lemos' family's castle in Spain. It is also listed on the National Register of Historic Places. In 2007, Page married Lucinda Southworth, a research scientist and the sister of actress Carrie Southworth. The couple has 2 children, born in 2009 and 2011 respectively. Page initiated a project in 2009 to build an eco-friendly house in Palo Alto. He purchased adjacent properties, deconstructed existing homes, and incorporated green design elements like recycled materials, low VOC paint, and solar panels. In 2011, Page acquired the superyacht Senses for $45 million. In 2013, he revealed on Google Plus that he had vocal cord paralysis, donating over $20 million to vocal cord nerve function research. Page's family foundation, the Carl Victor Page Memorial Fund, donated $15 million in 2014 to aid efforts against the Ebola virus epidemic in West Africa. In August 2021, it was disclosed that Page holds a New Zealand residence visa and traveled to the country for his son's treatment. During the COVID-19 pandemic, he had been residing in Fiji with his family. In 2023, the U.S. Virgin Islands attempted to serve Page a subpoena in a lawsuit related to J.P. Morgan Chase's connections to Jeffrey Epstein. Page has also invested in private islands across the Caribbean and South Pacific, including Hans Lollik Island, Eustatia Island, Cayo Norte, and Tavarua. Larry Page's awards and recognition, 1998-2009. PC Magazine recognized Google among the top 100 websites and search engines in 1998 and awarded it the Technical Excellence Award for Innovation in Web Application Development in 1999. Google received a Webby Award and People's Voice Award for Technical Achievement in 2000, and in 2001, it won multiple Search Engine Watch Awards, including Outstanding Search Service and Best Design. In 2002, Larry Page was named a World Economic Forum Global Leader for Tomorrow, and he and Sergey Brin were listed in MIT's Technology Review as top innovators under 35. They both received an honorary MBA from IE Business School in 2003. Page and Brin were honored with the Marconi Foundation's prize in 2004 and elected Fellows of the Marconi Foundation at Columbia University. They also received the Golden Plate Award from the American Academy of Achievement and were finalists for the EY Entrepreneur of the Year Award. Page served as a trustee for X Prize in 2004 and was elected to the National Academy of Engineering. In 2005, he and Brin were elected Fellows of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, and Page received the Communication Award from Prince Felipe at the Prince of Asturias Awards. 2009, present. In 2009, Larry Page received an honorary doctorate from the University of Michigan. By 2011, he was ranked 24th on the Forbes list of billionaires and the 11th richest person in the U.S. Forbes described Google as the most influential company of the digital era in 2015, and Page was listed as the 17th richest man in the world with an estimated net worth of $32.7 billion in July 2014. Fortune magazine named Page its Business Person of the Year in 2014, praising him as the world's most daring CEO. He was also voted #1 on Forbes' America's Most Popular Chief Executives list by Google employees in October 2015. In August 2017, Page was honored with honorary citizenship of Agrigento, Italy.